I'm going to do a quick video here on power pistons. Now this is an AFB. This is actually a marine carburetor. Now the power piston, the bore down in here, now this kind of pertains to people that are like media blasting, or if you're going to go in there and polish the bores, with sandpaper, or I use Scotch-Brite pads, and I put them on this. These are for patches for guns, and I just chuck it in my drill, and I cut little strips and put them on. So what the problem is like some guys do that, and then they go ahead and they put their pistons in, and they move real nice and free. And you say, okay, that's good to go. What happens is, now if you look at this one here, this is one that's stuck. And this one actually originally moved just like that one. See, this thing is like really in there. I got to fish it out. And the reason, there we go, got her. So the reason how I got this one to stick is like, hope this doesn't make a liar out of me on this one. What I'm going to do on this one here, I'm going to get it, ready to go down. Hope my fingers aren't fingering away. And what the test is like, I got a little bottle here. It's got alcohol, and I use it for checking ports. Now what I'm going to do is wet that area down in that power piston. And now I'm going to work it. And I can already feel it trying to stick. Put a little more in there. This one doesn't really want to stick, but it will. See, like this one is just hanging up. See, it's down there. And what's causing that is when you go in there and sand them or use the Scotch-Brite and polish that bore, or if you media blast them, what happens is this. This is aluminum, and Quadrajets and other ones are pot metal, but the pores in that metal, they absorb the grit from the sanding or even from media blasting. And I'll show you, what I do with these is after I polish them and stuff, I go in here with a Q-tip and I clean the bore. You see this black crap that's coming out of there. This stuff here, because you will get some fuel vapors and moisture from fuel in this area, and it's all it takes is to get that bore wet and it hasn't been clean for this grit to start washing out. You see? And you got to keep cleaning this until these things come up clean. I got a little thing of gasoline here I use. You can use alcohol or put some carburetor cleaner in a little cup. But we'll go in there and I'm still getting crap out of the pores of that, because these things got to be spotless. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that piston, because when you start this motor up, And what happens is these pistons suck down. They bottom out. And then as you start getting on the throttle and your intake manifold vacuum starts dropping off, these things start raising up. And what they're doing is pulling that jet out of the the metering jet, which richens the mixture. When these things start hanging up, as you start opening up that throttle, you're going to get into a lean condition, and the car's not going to run right. So we cleaned that one. You know, and even the piston, I'm going to, you know, I go around this and I'll polish it with some Scotch-Brite. But you can see without even polishing it, this is from the media blasting. You know, you got to clean inside the bore too. Because like I say, any moisture, you know, especially fuel condensation, is going to make that crap come right out of the pores of that metal, and this piston's going to hang up in the down position. So see, without even polishing the piston itself, we'll see. See, we still got some grit. Let me polish this piston real quick, and then we'll clean it and we'll give it a try. So I took this one and I Scotch-Brited, you know, these contact areas here, and you know, smoothed them out, and then cleaned it. And even if you take a Q-tip after you polish them like that, you run that Q-tip around, it'll be black. And I went back through the bore one more time and cleaned it, and I was still getting some black. So here we are. Right now, it's working fine. So now we'll wet it up again, just to see if there's any debris left in the walls. See, it's stuck. So we still got some grit someplace. See, if it even does it one time, it's gonna get you. So there's still some crap someplace. I'm still getting some black residue. And what's good too is you get some of these, you know, these are like gun cleaning brushes. You can get brushes. This is, you know, just like a bore swab. You know, I got them like 4, 10, 20 gauge, you know, different calibers and stuff to fit all kinds of different stuff I'm cleaning. We'll go over this piston one more time, see if we're picking up any black residue. See, I'm still getting some stuff off of here. And you know, you can pull these out of here. you know, you can just pull that spring down and pop out the metering rod like that. I might add some crap that washed up around that metering rod and then started washing back down. So we'll just put the rod back in. That little spring right there just hooks onto that little groove there. Throw our spring back in. We'll give it another test. Now we'll wet it down again. Jumped out of the metering block. And you know, I'll do this quite a bit because I want to make sure that, you know, this stuff functions. I can't be affording to get callbacks, you know, or, you know, people got problems. So I'm happy with that one. You know, this one here, this is like the miracle one, why it's not sticking, because they all stick. Right there. Oh, just knocked my gas over. There you go, right there, that one's stuck. You know, you wet it down enough and keep messing around, it'll stick. Let me clean up my mess here. So I got the other one polished up and cleaned up, and here's just some of the Q-tips, you know, cleaning out that bore and all that stuff. And so, you know, I've been testing it, taking my alcohol and squirt it around, and there's no problems. Now, you know, it seems like a pain in the ass, but I mean, you got to do this, otherwise, you know, these power pistons are going to hang up on you, and you know, it's one thing if you're doing your own car and you got problems, but when you're doing it for somebody else and they're paying, you can't be having comebacks. Now, you know, most all carburetors, pretty much, let's say a lot of them, have some type of power piston set up, you know, Quadrajets, you know, 4GCs, WCFBs, AFBs, and Quadrajets are really touchy. I mean, that piston and that bore have to be spotless. You can't have any dirt, grime, because they will hang up on you. So, hey, this is just another tip, and I'll be putting some more out.